It's the last time I gotta look into them ocean eyes. Hey, y'all! We made it. We made it, and it's just been so hard, and I'm just so happy that we're here. I'm so happy that we're here. There is some satisfaction and some gratification because a lesser person wouldn't be here. But the four of us, we're all here together, and it is a very good day. Welcome in, y'all. Be sure to hit that like button. Let us know what you thought about this finale. And if you don't watch the show at all and you're just here for the shenanigans and the laughter, just show us some love because this is it. This is the last of the Mohicans as far as Mayfair Witches is concerned. Definitely not going to waste any time in bringing my girls out. Quana, I'm going to bring you out first. Quana, are you ready to discuss the last of Mayfair?
I'm ready, but not willing. No. This felt like a hostage situation, but I'm glad that we all got to spend this time together. It's the journey, not the destination. I can come up with some more platitudes to make it okay.
It's the journey, it's the hostage situation for me. I was held against my will to talk about this show, but it was just something like, I'm not going to let this beat me. We're going to finish it because I'm determined. Ashley, with the sweet perspective, bringing you out next. Are you ready to talk about Mayfair for the last time? I love how we're saying it indefinite, like this isn't getting renewed. This is it. And even if it does, we're not going to be here to see it. Ashley, are you ready?
Yes, this is the best day I think I've had in 2025. We are saying goodbye to this show, never to see it again. I don't give a damn if they renew this for another 10 seasons. I will never watch another episode of a Mayfair anything, Tyra. They don't have to worry about me. They don't have to worry. Esta, girl, if I see your name on anything moving forward, I will immediately dislike it and change the network, change the streaming service. There's nothing she could ever do in my mind to redeem herself. This was a waste of 8 hours of my life, maybe more, because like I said, I watch an hour, at least the show 1.5 times. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do for it. But yes, today is an amazing day because it's over. Yeah.
Not you just gonna cancel Esther.
Oh, Esther Spalding? Yeah. She's on my list.
No. But they might go, hey, we like what you're doing over here. Going over there with the Talamasca. You go check it out?
Nope.
See? The Superior, are you ready to discuss Mayfair? And if there was another season, would you watch it?
All I know is they better not be bringing her over to Talamasca. I swear to God, because I will riot. Okay. I don't think we get another season, guys. I don't know anyone that enjoyed this show. Even like the avid book readers, they were poo-pooing the show. So I'm like, who is it for at this point? Because nobody's enjoying it. But I like to find the silver lining and things. So this is the last episode. There were a couple interesting things that happened this episode. No lie.
I mean, let's go on into it since you got your degree and you know everything. I'm gonna come on to you first. What was what were your overall thoughts and what was interesting about it? What was the silver lining here for you?
Okay, so silver lining. They tried to wrap it all up. They did it. They every little question that they asked, they ended up eventually getting around to it. Now, did they spend more than a couple seconds wrapping it up? Probably not. You get what you get. But they went back to the question and they gave you the answer, even if the answer was like a one-word sentence. I'll give them that. And I also enjoyed Lasher. I'm telling you, Lasher is one of my favorite characters. I feel like the show shines the most when Lasher is on screen. Even though I don't like Lasher, I feel like I enjoy watching his shenanigans on the screen.
See, it's so hard for me to swallow that when you say those things about Lasher because it's just not there for me, you know?
Mm-mm.
Juana, any silver lining here? Overall thoughts of the finale?
Aside from it being over, the silver lining, we have another show that disproves Alexandra's point that she can act. I don't know if y'all saw that interview. I just saw it this weekend, oddly enough, and I was like, "Girl, why you lying? You know you can't act." And okay, for real, I will say that the silver lining is that perhaps we might have gotten an explanation as to why vampires exist. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like maybe they were trying to go that route. I don't know. I'm trying to make up something. We just pretended. It's okay. It's the babies were cute in their little in, in their little baptismal outfits, their christening gowns. That's a silver lining. There you go.
You
baby.
Deep for that one, Corner. Ashley, overall thoughts? Any silver lining, even if it's really small?
The fact that it's over, and Alexandra, she's on my list too. Matter of fact, she and Esta Spalding, they both can get it on this list. And Felix dropped a super chat, and that's my whole sentiment as well. From this moment on, the showrunner and I will forever have beef. It's forever. Like there's never a time. But no, y'all, it was terrible. It was really, really bad. I feel like even the things we waited for, the reveals were anticlimactic. To see Rowan float 2 feet off the ground and act like now she's all powerful was disturbing as hell. It was a bummer. It was awful. Lark being useless was terrible. Moira getting a little bit of chutzpah at the end. It was late. Sip being there to be a Captain Save-A-Ho is played out and tired. Like the only shiny, okay. Grandpa Daddy, he was kind of a little, he might have cooked with a little bit of grapeseed oil at the end of the day, a drop, a smattering, maybe him and him alone. That would be the only thing I'd be following up to see what Julian's, forever plan is. But no, it was awful, Tyra. I hated everything about it. It was a hate crime.
Oh, God. 401 Felix, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, who said, from this show on me and the showrunner will forever have beef. This lady had a whole 2 seasons and I still don't know what/who Lasher even is.
Preach about it.
Thank you so much for the super chat and for the thoughts. Like, you know what silver lining I found? Because I found one. I don't know what Esta was on, but somebody told her to be on her Twilight energy, and she brought some of that to the show. I said, what in the Twilight is going on here? Speaking of Twilight, that will be the theme of our cutaways this finale. Is getting to Twilight, because I said, who this wolf for?
Dire wolf.
Who this showdown for? What's going on? If Bella's just gonna flip out any second now, Esther, just let me know now. Y'all, I don't know what order these are. I had nothing for this finale. Gullible sacrificial Lasher, history repeating, and offspring feast. We get into the plan of it all and why we are really, really here. I guess we could say we were pretty much right in the plan of Lasher and why he was deaded in the first place all those years ago, because they just bled him out and took the blood for themselves. My issue was I thought that there would be a process. I didn't think it would be so instantaneous. Like as soon as you guys' nuptials are over and y'all you impregnate this lady with these 9 and 8 babies, we're gonna kill you immediately. I'm like, was there not a way to? I just thought the smarter thing would be to like maybe hold him captive, keep that blood flow coming as long as we could, like keep him even if he's within an inch of his life, he's still alive, and then eventually he wastes away. No, we take this man out instantly. I just find her so interesting, so I'm gonna come to her first. Ashley, what did you think about this plan? And Lasher just being none the wiser, like, you know what, maybe we should leave. It's just something's off. I just don't know. But where's Rowan? If somebody could help me, because I don't know anything that's going on here. Ashley?
This has been one of my major gripes since he's gotten a body. Because where will we meet wise, beguiling Mr. Steal Your Girl's panties in season 1? And this dud, I mean, even when he's fully grown, he still is damn clueless. And now we're supposed to believe that the whole time he's been good. Even his disembodied spirit who was out here deceiving the nations, he's been good this whole time. Things just don't. 2 plus 2, it does not equal 4 here. I thought this was lame as hell. We need to keep him in a cavern somewhere in perpetuity so that we can, like you said, have an endless supply of the bloodstream. If this is what's going to empower all of the Mayfairs, if I just have to go suckle at his teat to gain my powers, like, what are you doing? I feel like the Milk Maiden was a waste of time, useless, absolutely. I don't know why we had to like birth this progeny like they were puppies. I thought that was vile and disgusting. Like, I mean, give us one. Yeah, it was a litter. Like, I hated everything about it. I hated bringing them babies. I thought that was really gross, and them sitting there with those vials ready just to slice them up like they were hungry. Like, it missed me because I don't feel like as a character during his whole life, whether his disembodied spirit or in this, we really ever got to know who Lasher was, what his real true point was with the family.
I mean, are we seeing that Lasher came back and he was so scorned from this situation that he turned into that Lasher that we met first season? Is that what we're saying?
For me, they would have had to have make it come full circle to explain to me how he was deceiving all these women. At whose behest was he really working? Was he working for Julian the whole time? Y'all like to give a flashback about everything else. Give me a flashback about this, because I don't see, where did his disembodied spirit go? Except for into the body, and now he's just a dummy. He's just this sacrificial lamb who was good, who makes the flowers turn green and the grass grow. Like, I hated it. I don't know, Tyra. I don't know, Esta. I don't know what was going on in her head. I don't.
See, what did you get from this? And with you being kind of into the books, is this the appropriate direction to go with Lasher in the sacrifice of it all?
Yeah, I know that spoiler alert, he ends up being his past self was killed. So he does kind of get reincarnated. What I'm confused about is if he regularly becomes reincarnated, why was it so hard for him to get a body this time? I season 1. That's unclear in the show. But what can I say? Lasher, I enjoyed this version of Lasher in the first 2 episodes. I feel like they needed to kind of escalate his character as the season went on. They didn't. He just became stunted throughout the whole of the season, and that kind of bored me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I wish that they would have left him in this kind of gray, I'm the villain kind of thing. Because, we kind of do need a villain. And Ian is okay in his older age, but he's not really doing it. And Julian is okay, but he's, in and out of the series, right? Yeah, I just wish that they would have, did a little bit more with Lasher's character.
I preferred him in the first season, actually. I preferred him before he got a body. When he was just a looming spirit and a threat on the witch's necks. fulfilling every desire and every need to push up on somebody to hopefully get to this body. Dane C, thank you so much for the $2. This show has been the worst witch magic I've ever seen.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dane. And Bookworm, thank you so much for the $4.99. I am so for us. It is over.
Over. Yes.
Mhm.
I'm so glad it's over for us. All this redemption. Quana, did you get any satisfaction out of this? You know, this milkmaid, as Ashley loves to call her, that we were winding up to, and Lasher having enough depth to know that something was off, but not enough to actually do something about it, and him, being used for all of this blood. Did you think that he would end up this way?
No, and I'm not gonna hold you. I'm still so confused when they was in bed having the little pillow talk and whatnot. And like I guess I don't know if it's her spirit supposed to be the spirit of the dead girl. And I was confused because they were talking about the past and the present and the future. And I was like, but then she didn't know what was going on. So I was confused and she was confused. And then she was having these babies, and I was trying to figure out, was she pregnant with all 8, 9 babies at the same time? I'm kind of like, Ashley, that grossed me out. Because then even if she was pregnant at one time, like that's enough. But then if it's back to back, I had 2 kids really close together, 15 months. Your mind, it's like a mind trip when you feel like that's all you're here for. Like, I'm just here for having these babies. What is happening? I can't even imagine. I was like, please somebody check on this poor girl's mental health. And this whole little picture with Lasher with his head behind that's not sexy, boo boo. You don't got enough muscle to be doing all that. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I was just like,
hair for me, Quana. Like, we don't want to lose your pit.
I already don't like armpits anyway. But then you don't got no like muscles. Like, it would be beanbag to like make it like sexy. You could have just had like your arms wrapped around her or something. I just didn't understand. No, I don't know what the plan was for Lasher, because like you said, Ty, he went from being this sexy ladies man. He wasn't sexy, but he was a ladies man. Season 1, he still was kind of that when we got him after he aged up in the beginning of the season. And then all of a sudden now it's like he's just a puppy. And I'm like, boo, get up. Like, somebody, like, do something. What is his power? He couldn't even do anything. I'm just so confused.
I don't know. And it's like they want us to understand, like, oh, all of that hemorrhaging and him being a little iffy as he was being raised for all of 3 days, that was just, him growing. And this was all just traction until he got here. The milk and the women was all to get to this moment in this woman that they had to hold him back for. And it adds up to nothing. It's just nothing. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't want to. I was just waiting for it to be over like Keisha Cole. But we're in these Twilight streets, because who told y'all to pop out with a wolf in a battle? Okay. See, I'm going to come to you first. Favorite and least favorite out of the entire saga?
Okay, this is easy for me because New Moon will forever and always be my favorite Twilight movie. It's my favorite Twilight book. Eclipse is pretty good too, but New Moon always takes it for me. Everyone knows Breaking Dawn is the worst book. It's undeniable. It's 5 million pages long and it's boring as all get out. And same goes for the movie, unfortunately. And probably maybe part 1 was worse than part 2, because I feel like we got that fake battle in part 2 that wasn't in the book, but it was in the movie. So probably part 1, Breaking Dawn, worst, and most definitely favorite is New Moon.
Okay. Quana, what is your favorite and least favorite?
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna try to go by the movies and not the books. Because that's a different listing. My favorite, I'm not gonna lie, can I say my favorite because it's bad? My favorite is probably Breaking Dawn Part 2. I like the fake battle. I like the fake battle of it all. It was like, okay, finally I got some action in this movie. And that's what I wanted. And there was no action really in any of the other movies. So I like that part really. And then my least favorite is probably part one, because it just the whole thing with part one just pissed me off. Because the whole, is she gonna have the baby? Is she not gonna have the baby? The baby's eating her from the inside. She emaciated. She looked like death's door. So it's all in the same. So part one is my least favorite, but part two is my favorite.
Choices.
Ashley, what about you?
Choices were made. Choices were made. I am going to go with the OG Twilight, the first movie. That is what got me to get into Stephenie Meyer's books and actually read them. So I'll go just because that was like my induction, you know what I mean, to Raggedy Bella and my boo Edward, because I'm Team Edward all day. So at Twilight, the first one, that's gonna stick with me. That's gonna be the fave. It got gross to me. When Jacob imprints on damn Renesmee, I'm disgusted. I'm revolted. I want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. I hated that. So it'll probably be the New Moons. They're the worst for me. Yeah.
Even though New Moon gets under my skin.
Wait.
I meant Breaking Dawn. Sorry, I missed
Okay.
Breaking Dawn.
Now, New Moon is the one where Bella is depressed and looking out the window the whole time, and Edward is a spirit. Yeah, even though that one pisses me off every time. My least favorite is probably Eclipse, because I think we got that newborn over there, and I just hated it. And that's when they switched the Victoria over to the new actress. I just didn't like a whole lot about Eclipse, and that's when Bella really started smelling herself, getting on my nerves, playing on Jacob top. Eclipse is gonna be my least favorite. My favorite is gonna always be Twilight. I like Twilight. I like the introduction, and I can still remember where we were when it was like epic proportion. Everybody was all over Twilight. It was just this big thing. But yes, Eclipse pisses me off. Thank you so much, Darpolina, for the $2. Who said Lasher there to remind Mayfairs to smell the flower. What? Lasher is there to remind the Mayfairs to smell the flowers. I guess. I mean, if that's what his blood doing is being supplied. Like, oh look, I was just I can't grow another flower in the grass. Grow another flower, like him just like nothing. Can you not do anything? Okay, let's just move on. First of all, I didn't need y'all to put all this dark dye job on Cortland to make home. I was like, why is he dressed in black, got this bad dye job on these eyebrows in the corner? It just was all dark. I didn't like, but they didn't have to do this, especially if Cortland was supposed to be pretending to be Cortland. Julian here. We get into Julian's plan. Why do we need Rowan again? We weren't okay. Julian, I put that little picture of him up there because I at least thought that was going to mean something. I was like, oh, when Rowan comes to, she's going to be like, oh, it's actually Julian. No, immediately she's like, I'll kill all of you. I don't know what's going on. I was like, did you forget you just envisioned? Why would we put this here if it meant nothing? Anyway, Julian, of course, is a nefarious plan. It was in Ian's face the whole time. If it was a snake, it would have jumped up and bit him, but he's choosing to trust in this father who lets him down every time. And of course, he opts to cancel all of this out. I want the blood, and I want Rowan to have the blood so we can reign together, and she's the superior because she's the 13th witch, and I just want us to reign together because why? I didn't get into the why, even though he sat there with that gauntlet of blood and explained it all to her. And she's, well, if this was the case, why am I the only witch? Why didn't anybody else? And I was just like, this still isn't enough as to why we want to reign supreme with Rowan. Quana, did you get it? Did I miss it?
I guess he was saying something about her unique power and ability would allow him to raise the dead, and so he was looking at it as collecting powers. So from what I could gather about, I think the problem that we're having with it is they gapped explaining Julian's powers to us, and then it was just like we thought all of a sudden he was really powerful, and we don't really know what his OG powers were. I don't know if him floating is that because of Lasher's blood, or is that like something that he could like there was just stuff that was missing, like what is his power other than being in the Victrola? We don't know. But I just took it as he wanted to link to Rowan's power. Now I'm confused, so y'all gonna have to help me, because didn't we see Chick drink the blood?
Yeah.
And didn't he drink the blood?
Yeah.
So wasn't that linked them?
Yeah,
So I was confused because
but
then
she
it
did
was
it anyway.
like,
It's a slide for her. Like you did it anyway. So what was the wrong?
yeah,
You
I
drunk?
was that part. I was like, girl, you dumb, you pissing me off. I was just like, whatever. But it didn't make any sense because you don't really know if he like what his full plan was. I just assumed when she said, "Oh, you want to raise the dead," that was the plan.
I mean, I thought he was saying that to like lure her in. Like, if you drink the blood, you will be able to. But it's like you have already. So I'm assuming your powers are kind of counter reacting each other. It seems like I have the same ability at this point. Can't you do that? So what? Like, why do you need her? You just want her there because she your grand niece? Like, what? I don't get it. Uh, uh, Ashley, did we miss something?
No, that's the issue. That's the issue with this entire series. Like they, they throw some things out there at you, and you have to be the writer and figure it out yourself. You're not going to make it make sense. Because for me, I thought the same thing. I was like, okay, this is the immortality thing. Let's do this. Let's tell Rowan this so that she'll drink the blood thinking she can bring back whatever, which she ultimately did. So again, Julian, brother, dad, uncle, daddy daycare, daddy, grandpa, he's got what he wants at the end of
Yeah.
the day, and he can disappear. I never thought it was going to be a Rowan stronger than him for whatever reason. I feel like Julian is the ultimate. What really pissed me off though about this whole entire situation was Ian being just as daft as he wanted to be. Because here's the thing, this man raised Cortland. Every day he was in Cortland's face. You were over here, the bastard child on the other side of the universe, and you think he's gonna betray Cortland and won't do the same to you? Like, who the do you think you are, Buki? Like, it never gave Julian's this great father that's going to affirm you and do what you say to do. Like, be so for real. Again, it boils down to bad writing, bad direction. It made absolutely no sense. And for all we know, Julian and Rowan might hook up. I mean, she got to stick her tongue down Lasher's throat today. Why not go to Grandpa Daddy? Why not him next? It wouldn't surprise me. Rowan is such a whore for power. I feel like she and Julian have that common link. Again, not something the writers truly explored, but I think that kind of had potential. But they leave us hanging every single time. They failed us. They've done me wrong for the last time.
I mean, I got that much with him. He kept stating the obvious, like, stop acting like it's all about Lasher. You have a quest for power, just like I do. Like, it's this Kismet situation. We both have that strong desire, but it was like we got all the way here because you want to freak on her. That's what we got, Julian, and y'all want to reign and freak as family. Get out of here, because y'all didn't even drive that ancestral theme that's all threaded throughout them. Y'all didn't even bother to kind of drive that home here, so don't even do it now. See, did you get into Julian's plan?
No, I didn't quite understand it. I'm trying to put the pieces together, as I should say. We got to be the writer, so I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm thinking maybe it's something. If he wants to bring back the dead, maybe he's trying to bring himself back, like his original body, because he don't want to be in Cortland's body or something. I don't know. And he needs Rowan's womb to do it for whatever reason. I'm, I'm guessing that's it. But yeah, it wasn't very well explained. Him coming out like, I don't know, like he was stat flying out into the garden.
It
That took
does.
me out.
This poor Ian. You got Ian like, okay, because now we can kill her, right? We don't need her anymore. It's like, ah, like how many times this man got to show who he is? Like, Ian,
Yeah.
I'm just over the show really presenting people as threats, and then conveniently when we don't need them to be, we just dumb them down. Like,
It, I thought it was interesting that Julian is like the most powerful witch in the Mayfair family. Like that's kind of a thing about him outside of Rowan. And that made me think of something earlier they said in the season that made no sense now, because when JoJo was talking to Corley, she was like, "Oh, you just wanted me to be a girl because girls are the most powerful Mayfairs." Or y'all remember her saying that? And the whole time is Julian. Whole time, like, how does that even make sense now? It doesn't. It's just a throw in. They just throw in whatever, and they just
oh,
like don't even just it just makes no sense.
It's an inconsistent mess. Thank you so much, Demarcus Vaughn, for the $5. Ladies, what would y'all say is worse? Is worse having trauma or being toxic? I would love to hear y'all opinion. Happy History Month. Having trauma or being toxic, it's like one and the same. Um, I guess I would say it would be worse just to be toxic because trauma is something you can but kind of can't control. Depending on what it is, that's something that you have to, live through and heal over. Toxic is a decision that you're making. You're making a choice to be toxic, so I'm gonna go with toxic. Ashley?
Yeah, I feel like one can have trauma without being toxic, and I agree with Tyra. Toxicity is a decision one makes. Um, and I mean, I hate the idea of anyone going through trauma, but I would say that it is worse being toxic because you're literally choosing to be that.
Mm.
Don't have me thinking on this Mayfair night.
See?
Ooh, so trauma does a lot to your body, man. Trauma causes anxiety. Trauma causes an early death. Toxic can be a little sexy. Even Britney Spears said, had a little hit with it. So if I had to choose for myself, I'm going toxic because I don't want to deal with the trauma of having trauma. So toxic it is.
Quana.
Yeah, I would say toxic if you're aware of it because then you're using it to your advantage, right? Like you are choosing the ish that you deal with because you're going to get something out of it versus trauma, you're just kind of in a place of where you're the victim of someone else's toxicity. So I would rather be the one to have the power to be toxic.
Amen.
First.
Shout out to the 65 people here. Thank you so much for being with us on this Mayfair Witches. The last. And we are here. See, who is your favorite villain?
Oh, okay. This is hard. Just because even though I don't like this version of her that you got in the picture, but I'm gonna go with Victoria. She wasn't my Victoria of choice. But Victoria was down for her man. She stood by her man even when he was wrong, and she didn't let nothing slide. So I'm going to say Victoria's my favorite one.
Ashley, who's your favorite villain?
Oh, is his name Laurent, the black one? Okay, so here's the thing, because he played in everybody's face. I ain't like that, Laurent. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Laurent, but I enjoyed his character. I wanted to see him so much more.
With that makeup? Really?
I did. I listen. I'm gonna be here for representation every single time.
What to do
But I
with
think his
Brother
character
Wrong?
had potential. I liked him. I'm going over there with him.
Looking like Will I Am from the Black Eyed Peas. I hated it so much. Quana, who's your favorite villain here?
I'm gonna say Victoria. It's definitely not Laurent because everybody else get to have glittery, beautiful skin, and he got ashy. I don't understand why they did that to my boy.
Laurent, the book Laurent, y'all don't like?
No, because she just didn't know how to write black characters. So I feel like he just it's like, oh, you're black, okay, that's it. Like that's me throwing in some representation here. Here, y'all, shut up. Here, you got one. God gave you one.
Wait, he wasn't black in the books. She was mad that he was black in the movies.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. He wasn't black in the books. That was us making it up because I watched the first movie and then read the book. So you're right. That was me playing tricks on myself. See, that's all the more reason why I don't like his little stinking tail. I'm gonna go with Victoria. Victoria says, "Stand by your man."
I really did like James from that first one because I like the ones who really seemed like they was about that life. Like we killing people in this little PG movie. We catching bodies because I want to and I'm enjoying this. But I just love Dakota Fanning. Like she was really enjoying bringing them people pain, and I'm here for that. I'm gonna go with Dakota. I'm gonna go with Dakota because all the pain that she gave from I think Eclipse on down to the moment that she got that head bit off in that imaginary showdown that pisses me off to this day. It was very satisfying to see her get her little comeuppance in the end. So I'm gonna go with her, child. And this baby over here, baby, he's just the clown. Him and his other two friends. It's just weird, but yeah, the Volturi are comedic. I think Jane is her name Jane. Yeah, she was standing on business. I'm here to bring pain because I feel like it. Yeah, I just could never get behind. Once they swapped Victoria, if maybe we could have got to see Victoria lead into that film, and it was the same one, maybe I could have got with it.
Yeah.
Ciprien helps Rowan, the Talamaska Cavalry. Oh, Ciprien.
Oh.
Ciprien, why Ciprien? Why is everybody getting here doing nothing? Okay. Like, I just couldn't get all the way behind. First of all, what we're not gonna do is help and try to have a hint of jealousy on it. Like, if you don't, like, oh, look at her swooning and melting all over Lasher's face. Okay. Nothing about, because you can't tell me, you're never going to tell me that he's just here, it's business as usual, and it's all the Talamaska, and now he's the head of the New Orleans department, and this has nothing to do with Rowan. It's always a hidden agenda about him trying to rub elbows with Rowan, and she barely gives you the time of day. Barely gives a damn. Didn't even bother to show you an ounce of gratification for helping her. Oh, I gotta help Rowan. I gotta help Rowan in Lasher because I just got, okay, whatever. I don't know. I just expected more. It just feels like as soon as we give it a little leg, we take it right back as far as Ciprien is concerned, and he's just still broken down to kind of helping, but not really. I don't want y'all to put him into the picture when it's like, if you weren't here, it wouldn't make a bit of a difference. But we tried to put y'all in this close proximity of y'all being jailed to make it seem like he mattered in the grander scheme of things. But between that and them trying to make us lose something with his little right hand woman here, it's like, oh, I was like, yeah, nobody cares. We don't know her. We don't care about losing her. We don't know her. But yeah, him coming through with the tell, I'm like, how long did it take y'all to get here? How long? Well, y'all should have been in the back. Like, ring. Is anybody home? Like, it's just, I just didn't understand why we had to wait and 2 clicks and do magical Morse code to even get the Talamaska on deck to even be here. Why wouldn't you be here already? First of all, there was that. But them just running in, we don't see anything. They just harvest the children and disappear off into a vortex. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know. See, did you feel it? Because I know you love you some Ciprien, and you know you be feeling like he was standing on business. This was not enough for me.
This is what we're gonna say about Ciprien. Ciprien is bilingual. Okay, he's an educated man. He's showing his skills. You know, I was here for it. You know, this episode, he was capable. In this episode, we got to give it to him, right? He's still a little, you know, head over heels for Rowan. I thought we were past that. Apparently not. He's still a little jealous of Lasher still. We see that. I don't like the Talamaska in this episode. I don't like the Talamaska throughout the series, but here in particular, they felt just kind of thrown in. It's like this whole season just felt like hurry up and wait. Like there was a whole bunch of nothing in the beginning of the season, and then now they want to throw everything against the fan. The last episode, like in the final hour, it's like what there's really no build up because it was just this slow nothing, and then now all of this is happening. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
Let me get these super chats before we go, because I know Ashley's finna to remind him that he's always a hammer. Thank you so much, DeMarcus, for the $3 and the Lemon character raising both of his thumbs up super sticker. Definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much. Darfalina is in the house, who said Hippo character runs at high speed. These things trip me out. And his legs forming a ball like blur. Thank you so much for the super sticker. You can't just say super sticker. We have to describe it. Thank you so much, Darfalina. And we got another one here. Let's see. Character holding their head. I wish they would just get to showing the super sticker. When is that going to happen on the screen? Saying incredible. Thank you so much, Darfalina. Definitely appreciate you. Quana, like, were you here for Ciprien? Was he standing on business? Did he really help in the way that you thought he would do in the end? Because this entire journey, warranted. You got to remember, they kidnapped him pretty much, brought him there, and had to explain it. And like, oh, we're actually good. We actually want you to help us with your powers and go into the deeps of the crevices of the mummified mind and remember this. And then we get here and we do what exactly? Quana?
See, I'm gonna need you to tell us later on what happens in the book because this is where my brain is going with Sip. Okay, I feel like we're watching AI. I feel like they stole a lot of plot points from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I feel like basically all they're doing is turning Sip into a watcher. And when we finally get the Talamasca show, he just gonna be watching these daggone babies. He's gonna be the babysitter, and that's all it's gonna be. Like I'm just so disappointed that they did not give my boy anything exciting to do before the show went out because I'm not planning on watching season 3. They're gonna have to come up with something good for me to watch the spinoff. As of right now, I'm just in for an interview. But they just gave my boy nothing exciting to do. And then his little friend that he made, he couldn't even help his little friend. I said, you just want to make a little friend, okay? And then you just want, oh, you want to ground? Sorry. And then he kept pushing. I said, no, this ninja did not do. Just look at her. He really looked at her. Like this.
Yeah, get up.
I really felt like it was a Keke Palmer, like I was about to Keke Palmer crash out over Titanic with Rose. I was like, Sid, do something.
Just to make these children. After he didn't gaslit her, she's like, well, we should wait for the Talamasca. No, I've been standing down and waiting since I was such and such years old. I'm getting in there and I'm getting into action. Like she had to die for her services. Okay, Sid. Ashley.
Sip is the help. Sip has always been the help. Sip will always be the help. Sip has not met a white woman that he don't want to save yet. He is going to get on his noble steed and hot-tail it through portals, through wormholes, through whatever to get to Rowan and her raggedy tail. And the fact that he got in her face and she paid him dust. What are you doing here? What? I know who Lasher is. I'm here to help. Oh, okay. I'll allow you to stay. It's the fact that we're playing into Rowan's delusion that pisses me off, and the fact that he's always going to be there to pick up the pieces. What an emasculated black character for them to put in. Y'all could have kept Sip who he was in the books. I think this was a travesty, a downright it's shameful. Okay, it's shameful. Yeah, he paid that lady dust. She wasn't the right shade. Okay, she wasn't shade protection for him. So he was like, "Yep, you can get gathered by Daddy Grandpa with this lightning, as long as I get the children." Her these Mayfair people. Sip is just so disappointing. Him in this role is disappointing. But I knew it, y'all. If you go back to the last live, I told you he was gonna be there. Saving a WW. That's what he does.
My white woman, and I need her now. I'm gonna save these white women, okay?
Another one,
except for this one. Maybe she wasn't white. She wasn't pasty enough. She had them baby blues. I can't.
She wasn't the right shade.
Sorry.
She didn't add up for his.
It was the look. He was like, well, I mean, we all not gonna make it. We all not gonna make it. That'll do, pig. Thank you guys so much in the chat for showing us some love. Be sure to show us more love and let us know your thoughts on this episode. Remember that this is the finale episode and we have no plans to come back, but we'll be right back.
Get quiet. When you try to come for me, I keep on flourishing. And he's the universe when I'm the company. Is you love it how I move you. You love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman. And I feel it after midnight. A feeling that you can't play, my one. It lingers when we're done. You believe God is a woman. I don't wanna waste my time, yeah. You ain't got a one-track mind, yeah. Have it any way you like, yeah. And I can tell that you're going on how I want it. Ain't nobody else can relate. Boy, I like that you ain't afraid. Baby, lay me down and let's pray. I'm telling you the way I like it. You love it how I move you. You love it how I touch you, my one. When I
Absolutely. They say, where my white woman at? But we getting back here and leaving. I mean, at least the Telemaska pulled up. I would have liked to see like the width of their powers. Like it's just so minimalistic. Like we got this one man, he's removing the barrier, but they act like I'm like, are you powerful or not? Can we see it or not? I don't know. It's just like if y'all was gonna do all of this, y'all could have just had random folks roll up, not the Telemaska, Ashley, Rosalie, or Alice.
I'm muted. Rosalie all day. Rosalie had the sass, had the backstory. Alice was cute. I liked Alice. She was sweet, but Rosalie had some. Rosalie said, "What you're not going to do is hurt this baby, Edward." Like I understand Rosalie. I'm gonna stick over there with her. She makes sense. You know, she made sense.
Rosalie or Alice? See?
Oh, me. Okay. So I didn't like Rosalie so much in the books. I liked her more in the movies, oddly enough. And I do appreciate a good backstory. And Lasher himself made an appearance in her flashback. He was her husband in that movie.
Was he?
Yep, in the flashback.
Girl, you see how it all comes together. You see
What happened? You know what he did over there. We can't trust him.
But yeah, and Alice, I liked her more in the book, but I don't know. Something about her in the movie just didn't, I don't know. She seemed like a liar in the movie. Something about her was giving liar to me. Especially with the whole, I can't see the future with the werewolves, but she saw the future with Rose, what's that little baby and Jacob?
Renesmee.
She saw that future. I'm like, ma'am, why are we lying? So I'm going with Rosalie.
Quana, Rosalie, or Alice?
Rosalie all day. She had the best backstory. That was the prequel we should have got. We should have got Vampire Rosalie taking names and bodies and snatching men's wigs and getting her vengeance. We a period piece set in the Great Gatsby era and with her snatching wigs and beating people down. Oh yes, I would have lived for that.
Alice was cute, but Alice was always being aloof, giving just enough information, guessing and estimate. I don't got time for that, girl. I'm here for Rosalie because Rosalie was the only one standing on business as far as Belle was concerned. Like, Belle, this ain't no game. Girl, I want to be a vampire. Girl, this ain't no game. This ain't no cute situation with your little lovable ass. Everybody just won't. Girl, please. I do not have time to play with you. Are you jeopardizing my family or none of that? We've been living too long. Living too cautiously to let you roll up and just diminish everything just because you want to be in love with Edward and he want to smell you and be all in your windowsill. We don't have time for that. I was always here for Rosalie, even before her backstory. Like, I just enjoyed it where it would have come off, I guess, in the early films, like, oh, she's just being mean and why isn't she accepting? Because, girl, you have a choice and this is what you're choosing. But if you're going to choose it, at least be cautious. Not only are you rolling up here with problems, but then you're rolling up here with that werewolf stinking up the house. Yeah, it wasn't. I was here for Rosalie. I was here for I thought at least one person would be like, Alice.
But another bit of a little vampire trivia here. The actress who plays Rosalie is married to the actor who played Damon in Vampire Diaries.
Oh, that's cute.
Her name was back. Okay.
I'm going
okay.
Four brothers every time. Both of them.
Baby. The many powers of Rowan this episode. As I said, baby, we were levitating. Of course, they were convenient. I need your powers to work a little bit quicker because how many times we need to save Lasher? Yeah. Why are they all kinetic and just turned on now because his blood was spilled? She didn't drink it at this point, but these powers were on 10. Why? I just needed a little bit more. I need a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe it's just like, Tara, you asking for a little too much exposition in this final. You should know by now. I don't know. Because even at that moment, because she saves Lasher the first time, and you already saving him, which lets us know you already like low-key have the power to heal or break whatever. So you're this close to bringing back the dead, but all right. But is it just because his blood was spilled? Because she's doing stuff we haven't seen her do. Like she levitated 2 feet off the ground. She did. She did. You striking folks down with lightning bolts. But when it's time to save Lasher that second time, it's just too far gone, and we just can't. But I was like, can we not give Lasher Black his own blood? Like, is that not enough? I didn't know at first. I thought, when after Cortland made her the proposition, I thought she was gonna like, okay, let me just give him back his blood, or I didn't know how it worked, but her powers were all on 10 out of nowhere. I didn't feel like it was warranted, but all right. Quana, what I mean, I didn't miss everything in this finale.
I just want to know though. Okay, it was cute. Her little powers were jumping off and everything. But when Oprah went to levitating, did they run out of money? Because she was only like 2 feet off the ground, and she was doing the little max levitation from Stranger Things. But I said, honey, you only 2 feet off the ground. I'm gonna need y'all to come with something like where y'all got no budget no more. But I was so disappointed in that it took me out of everything. Again, this is one of those situations where they just start throwing everything in. In my opinion, I don't really think there was any real thought to any of her powers at this point. I think it was just throwing stuff at her to make there be more to the finale, but not considering that we don't have any backstory for any of these things, especially before she drinks the blood. It didn't make any sense. We also never get to see Lasher do any of these things in the flashbacks to understand, like, how is this connected to his blood? So it was just all dumb. Like Esta got some explaining to do.
See, how did you feel about Rowan in this display of powers and her ability to save Lasher, one time, but not that second time?
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me. Like, okay, I can kind of get her powers being a little enhanced because they did say if she's in his proximity and you get a little power. Okay, right?
We ain't never seen Missy.
Yeah, no, remember she was a little fake me out storm in like the very first episode or something, but they never really did it again. So it's all over the place, her power sets. It's something connected to nature in some way because everything seems to be like a fire or a lightning or a rain or something like that. It didn't make sense to me at first why she couldn't, raise him up the second time. I was like, is this like a one and done kind of power? But I'm guessing, again, because we got to figure it out. We got to connect the pieces ourselves. They never connect anything. I'm guessing it's because maybe his heart stopped beating.
Yeah, she got hit with the axe in the chest.
Yeah, but then still, I would think because if she just needs the blood, it was plenty of it.
Yeah, I just didn't get it, and then it was like the powers were conveniently delayed, and the people are coming left and right, and she's like, oh, they're coming one at a time. I can only use so much of my magic at once. Yeah. I'm gonna wait a delay reaction with the axe, as well as Cortland in that damn thunder lightning bolt when he was trying to capture them children. I'm like, that was convenient. Do better, Ashley.
I'm, as camp as True Blood was, right? Mm-hmm. When we got off into these witches and vampires, they didn't do a whole ton with like practical effects. It was like, okay, I'm gonna glamour you. I'm gonna you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna read your mind and I'm gonna do this. And it didn't require all that. This just sucks. Her two powers, her ability to light the candle, to damn levitate, like Quana said, the 2 feet above the ground, the little lightning she played out. She was playing with it on her patio when Lark came up the first time. Girl, we don't give a damn. And then, and
Lasher wasn't near, right? He was gone at that moment.
Girl, there's no continuity. Throw continuity out of the window. It's not there. It doesn't exist. But again, we don't care about these powers because we don't know. Like, we've got the shapeshifter in the family. We've got the mind readers who can't really read minds all the time because if you think too hard, she can't really read your mind like we thought she could. I think that these just fell flat. It's lazy. It's very, very lazy to me. And the fact that she's walking now with all of this hubris, like, oh, Lark, no, I don't need you anymore. Go on back to wherever you came from. I'm gonna work at the hospital and I'm gonna heal the people. I'm gonna heal. Oh no, I don't need anything. I don't need the blood. No, I'm good. I'm gonna let them out of the thrall because I've just got it like that. When we have no indication of the extent of your power, other than you can play with lightning a little bit and you can hop up off the ground. Like it doesn't land. It just doesn't hit. Nothing in this series hits, Tyra, for me, especially them raggedy powers that are inconsistent with each of the family members. Because JoJo, you could see so much and didn't see yourself in the thrall.
What can she see? We never explored anybody's powers for real. Ashley, with this being your favorite, I'm gonna give this one to you. Where did Bella first see Edward?
It was in school, wasn't it? Wasn't it
I
in
need the exact location, ma'am.
it was in the lunchroom, and I think she's like, who is he? And he was like scowling at her because he was gonna scowl. And then the next time was in the class, I want to say, and they had to be lab partners. Is that correct?
Oh, wow, you got it right. Look at you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. That's what happened when you stand on business about that first one. You notice the small nuances and remember them. Gosh. Rowan is gonna give back. Okay. She said I'm gonna give back. And I think I either missed one or something's missing in order because I know it was something here about these people being useless. But that's neither here nor there. She said she's gonna cure the world. I'm gonna heal the world like Michael Jackson. Okay, I'm gonna heal the world. It's like I don't like the taste that's in your mouth when you're mentioning this blood. Do you see how you're acting? Like what? It's like what are you talking about? I don't. I was just like what is the arc for her to be noble? What is that for? I'm really over that. Like, if y'all ain't showed us nothing, this heifer don't care about nothing. I love how Martin didn't hold her to no task. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that I left you. No. Don't even worry about that now. There's a plan now. We need to say, I was like, oh, we just gonna forget about that. She's just never held accountable for anything. And we keep making her noble in the end. Like, these deeds are all gearing up for her to do the right thing in the end. Like, just make this witch evil already. Quana.
I don't understand why, if we were going to deviate from the book so much, why not give us a story where we see her along the way working in the hospital, using her powers to heal people, kind of as a B storyline, and then the main storyline be her exploring her roots, finding out her powers, slowly growing in powers, and then maybe because she's actually been healing people and she's afraid that her powers are not going to be there, then we get an explanation as to why Lasher is so important to her, why she has to track him down. None of this was given any explanation. None of it makes any sense. And now I'm going to go back to the hospital. I'm going to get on rotation. I'm going to save people. And even that, you don't think people are going to notice that no one ever dies in your operating room, that everybody just miraculously comes into the hospital with issues and they get healed, and you're just going to go, like, what is the plan? You don't have any plans, Roman. You never did. You always just fly by the seat of your pants, and to heck with anybody else that has to deal with it. So this wasn't even cute. It was just like, I'm going to heal people. Don't you still like me? Don't you still love me, Lark?
I don't know why it's out of order, but my one for how useless everybody is as far as Lark and just everybody is after this one. But this was very there was just no real climax in it. Like, they just act like there was just so much stake because their love was just that strong and we were supposed to care that much about him. Like, you know what? I don't think I can be here with you in the next part of your journey. This is all too much for me.
I gotta go find America.
See, are you here for, her trying to save the children of the universe and heal all? Because I'm going to do good deeds because I'm Rowan Hood.
Honestly, I was confused at how we got to the docks because you blink our eyes and we was just in the field with Lasher. Next thing you know, we in the docks with no kind of explanation. I'm like, what? Did we just time jump? Did we just hop in the portal with the kids? Like, what happened? Where are we? I thought it was, I don't want to say it was funny, but I was like, dang, now he left her in college and now he about to leave her again. Like, golly, after she gave you another shot. Like, is he really an F-boy out here in these streets after he done smashed in the one night and now he ready to leave again? I don't know about Lark.
Who the hell wants Rowan? See,
Lark, he wanted her enough to travel out to Scotland to see what was good, to see if he can get that cootie cat. And once he got it, oh well, I don't know, I gotta go, baby. This ain't for me. I thought that was messed up. Jesus. But yeah, it was just very jarring. It was just weird to suddenly be in this scene and have these explanations just randomly, it felt, here. And also, I don't think we got a chance to talk. It could be the next slide, but freaking Mona, very useless. And then her going around with real
Yeah,
Scottish people.
all of it. It's in the next one. See, something's it's out of order here. Like that pissed me off so much. Like, so y'all don't recognize your own family. All
Right.
right, what's love got to do with it? Please get out my face. Somebody got some love here with this super sticker, and someone called you amazing. I don't know who this for, but somebody's amazing here.
What?
Thank you. Thank you.
You amazing, girl. You amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ian definitely appreciates that. Uh, Ashley,
There's another super before that one.
was it? Oh, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Thank you so much, Darfalina. She would have had to pour that tea down my throat if I was Lark. Show me how powerful you really are.
Mm.
Now, she wasn't gonna have to do nothing with Lark because Lark was just along for the ride until he decided he didn't want to be anymore. He had no agenda of his own. It's insane. Uh,
Useless.
Ashley,
Yeah. So I thought for a moment I had a glimmer of hope when they find Lark and Lark's like, does she think whatever? I was like, oh, okay, here comes the double agent mission. Here comes his true purpose. And it was nothing. And here we are on the dock of the bay in our business casual blazer, telling him how I'm going to save the world. This was gross. It was Lark, you're useless. Lark was such a huge disappointment this season. I really thought he was going to get down with the get down. And then you let this heifer make you drink this tea to forget. I don't want to forget ho. I want to remember it all so I can write my exploits down in a book. I can have memoirs. I can do the testing. I can do everything to advance my tech company. At least that. But no, we couldn't. And honestly, y'all, this was a waste of an actor. It really was because why are you here, Ike? We did not need him at all in Scotland just to be a liability, and
Mm.
she don't like you. Like the fact that they have these male characters in this show that feed into her to delusion like she's that girl. She's
Mm.
there, smiling, smizing at him the whole time. Like, well, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna be doing dry humps with somebody else next week. No one does not give a damn. I
Lasher.
wish they would fully commit to her just being her own, brazen hussy. Like, just let her be that. Like, just give her that. At least it would have made her a little bit more interesting. But this facade, it irks me every single time. And Lark, you were a disappointment. A great.
Brazen Huzzy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Whose character got the worst treatment from Bella? I'm gonna go on over there with my boy Charlie, cause girl, what did Charlie ever do to you besides try to be your raggedy father? The way he would get the short end of the stick in all of these movies, because she just didn't give a damn about nobody but herself and that love she had for funky pasty Edward. Why? Why you have to do him like that? Always hated it. He deserved better. Ashley, who got the short end of the stick?
This may be this may be an unpopular opinion.
What?
But I don't know if Bella Daddy was all the way good. I feel like he had a drinking problem. I feel like he probably put his hands on her mama. No, it's not in the book.
How are you gonna just put that in there?
Yeah, that's me. That's how I feel. I don't like the cut of his jib, ma'am. I don't like the cut of his jib.
Never touched that woman.
Something ain't right about Charlie. Is that his name Charlie? Something ain't right about Charlie. So for me, it's gonna be Jacob because Jacob stood 10 toes down. He was Captain Savo. He had his cape on all the time. He clocked in. He was on his Zoom at every moment, and she played in his face. She made him believe that it could have been something, knowing if Edward brought his pale self back at any time, Jacob was gonna be done. She broke his heart, man. It's gonna she did Jacob worse to me. That was bad. And the embarrassment of it all, because we're in high school and I brought you to my reservation. I brought you around my family. Like you saw me, you know all my secrets.
Oh,
No,
let you be my people.
yeah.
First of all, disregard everything that Ashley just said about Charlie. We will not be putting that on that man's tab. He didn't do that. Just because you have to like to have a little beer after his constable work and worried about that heifer. See who got the short end of the stick here.
It's definitely Jacob. She treated Jacob like yesterday's trash. I felt so bad for him, and the way she used that man to fill up her emptiness in Edward's absence. It's horrible. She knew she knew that he had feelings for her whole time, and she used that to keep him around, and just give him a little bit just to keep him around. And I felt so bad for Jacob when it became clear that she was just using this man to fill up time until Edward returned to her. It was so sad. So Jacob definitely got the short end of the stick
I don't have no sympathy
for sure.
because Bella, your hair is uneven. You look dusty. You're not even that cute. Like it was never given that. You could have had so much better, honey. I'm going over there with Charlie every time because she didn't have to do her father like that. Quanah.
I'm gonna say Jacob, but I feel like she did Charlie real wrong. But maybe there's some backstory we don't have because she really was up in that man's house and was like, I'm about to do whatever I want to do, and who gonna check me? Who's gonna check me, boo? And so that wasn't right. But I'm gonna go with Jacob because what was it in Eclipse where she was freezing and cold all the daggone time and he had to take off his clothes and keep her warm?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and you see her teasing this man and everything and all up on him and caressing him and everything like that. He keeping you warm and for you to pay him dust. Oh no. That was so dirty. That was so dirty. He was so young and impressionable and so in love. Just to fall in love with her daughter later.
I'm telling you, there's something nefarious about Charlie.
Leave Charlie alone. You just gonna put that on that man's docket.
Even the woman responded in the middle of the night. There is a reason that lady packed up her duffel bag and left that man. There's something that happened.
She was just flighty, and
she was just a free spirit.
Yes, and he was too grounded.
We are moving on. I can't believe he was an abuser. He was an alcoholic. He was spilled. Where? We never saw that.
I saw him drinking every day.
We kind of covered this already. But I will say that there were moments here, especially, okay, you fell for the okie doke, they slashed your throat, okay, whatever. When it came to you being, rejuvenated, brought back to life, and your babies was on deck, I was like, okay, Lasher's about to stand up. Okay, we're about to see some power. There's no reason why his blood should be giving all these witches all of these abilities, but he has no power to do so on his own. I really thought we was going to see Lasher be about some type of action, and we literally got nothing. He was just the innocent, as this episode was titled, the sheep led to slaughter. And then we had Rowan give all that talk and and I'm getting that. And you drunk the damn blood anyway, so girl, shut up. He just did nothing. He was just there. I was like, so you mean to tell me that Lasher's blood is only good as an activation tool for everybody else, but he can't do anything? Quanah?
Look, I don't know what the plan is here for Lasher. I feel like they just came up with the idea that they wanted to have this redemption arc, but in doing so, they made him completely weak, passive, and inept. I don't know still don't know what his blood really can do. And then was his daggone babies, and he didn't do nothing. Like his babies got snatched up, and he just was looking like, somebody help me save. I know he got his throat slit and everything, but still. It was just so sad. I feel like we still don't know the Lasher from season 1 has nothing at all to do with the Lasher that we got in the flashbacks or anything to do with the Lasher that we've gotten this season. So I just really don't know what's true and what's not. And was he just kind of taking on the identity of whoever he kind of tethered to? I don't know, but I felt like he really was just weak and passive, and we needed there to be somebody who could be an actual force for good with some identity of what's going on, and he just was not that.
It just didn't, and even this didn't make sense. Like, we're gonna sacrifice the small. We wouldn't want to wait till they grow, literally in the next hour, into full-grown adults. We're gonna sacrifice them right now while they're still small toddlers. When I would think that the option would be to get the most blood out of the situation, since we're sacrificing everybody all at once in one damn day. I don't know. I didn't get it. See. You're in the books. Is this all Lasher is? He's just an activation tool?
Y'all, I quit reading that book. It was so disgusting. I'm telling you, I only know about, I know what I know, but I couldn't take the incest anymore, guys. I couldn't take it.
Oh, God.
But I will say that I thought that the death of, or at least, the threat of having his children die would have awakened, the old Lasher, the Lasher that was burning dudes in the forest and setting everything ablaze in Scotland back in the day. But it didn't give that. It didn't bring back that Lasher for whatever. We just got the same old Lasher we got in this season, like 18-year-old in the head Lasher. And I was disappointed with the little battle scene, as I was disappointed in the movie Breaking Down Part 2 of the battle scene. So very much on brand with
I
that.
love the battle. See, I was just disappointed that it wasn't real. I was like, all right, we are in the pocket. We suck for y'all killed off. Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, it was like, no, none of it happened.
And what I didn't understand was this the same wolf from like 100 million years ago when he was a child that bit him in the woods?
The way they
Was his
stood
real
up,
daddy?
he brought a wolf. He brought the wolf. I was like,
Is this a mystical, magical wolf or just a regular
it
wolf?
just gave Twilight energy for me. Him standing there with that wolf. I was like, okay, there's our theme. Ashley, did you think that Lash was going to stand up, or did he do exactly what you expected him to?
No, this is a weakling. He's had no autonomy except for trying to get some coochie. That's all he was trying to do this season, period. He was on a mission for Mayfair Cooch. And he finally got the milkmaid. And y'all, this was again a waste of time. And the way Esta, because I still watched the after show, and the way Esta sat there, oh yeah, because we had to get the special effects, and the special effects director had his dog run, and we were just able to put the little wolf. Like, shut up. Like, this is not a dire wolf. This was not Lady. This was not Snow or whatever. Get out of here. We've seen real wolves on Game of Thrones. Okay, I didn't want to even think about that. Rowan found a way to stick her tongue down his throat. He was just a liability to me. Again, to be this formidable, like, I know everything. He's supposed to bring joy to the world and life and hope and all of these things. And for him to die in the matter of 5 minutes twice, and then, outside of that, let's be honest. Let's tell ourselves some real truths about Rowan. Even if the blood had been able to save him, there was never a universe where Rowan was not going to drink that blood herself. There's never a universe she was going to give it to him. She might have took a sip and then kissed him, tongued him down, because that's what she's been wanting to do since she popped him out. I think it's gross. I think if they were going to stray away from the narrative that was in the book, the whole incestuous thing, like, we didn't even need that. Like, there was never, I never felt for Rowan this deep love and affection for Lasher. It was always, I need my battery. I need my charge from him. I need to be close to him so I can be powerful. It never gave this great love that I'm willing to sacrifice my life for. And outside of that, baby, you move too slow. You know what I'm saying? That lady is a mere mortal. She ain't used no powers to take him out. You couldn't have struck her. Like, Rowan didn't want to save Lasher. He ain't want to be saved. She ain't want to save him. And I expected him to do exactly what he did, die. Or just be useless.
She said, well, who would I be without you? It's like, still a Mayfair witch. Oh, just like, oh.
Aggravating.
See, were you about to say something?
No, I'm just listening to the, because y'all right.
Yeah, I was like, was that kid supposed to transfer something? Like, what are you doing? Get off of him. Back to these people being absolutely useless. Everybody. Ian, Mara, Lark. Everybody was so useless. Nobody did anything. We have Mara escapes to be oblivious. It's one thing for you to be running around here and the family doesn't recognize their own family. I guess the lineage is just so long, you could just say you're a cousin with the most off-brand Scottish accent that you ever hear. But she's just going unseen and just falling in, and she's reading minds, but it's not quite enough. And she has to just read minds for what felt like hours to finally get, what are we eating? Who are we shacking? What are we doing? I was like, girl. We eating the babies. That's what we do. Shut up. I expected more from you. I expected more from you, you dummy. She pissed me off. The writers pissed me off because we dumped her down just at the convenience of stupid Rowan. That was disturbing that we went that way. Ian ignores every single red herring, like, oh, can we kill her now? But what's the plan? And are we not blood tied anymore? Oh, you crossed me? Really, Julian, my bummy father crossed me? I would have never thought. Okay, there's that. And then he made it so obvious. Lark just simply being a love interest, that was it. Even if he didn't have nefarious intent, like, at least, like, okay, I'm here, I'm in it, I'm gonna discover something to multiply what we've been able to do with the blood, or maybe at least try to synthesize it into some type of spray, potion, injection to where we can, start helping people. I'm going to play a role. You do nothing. You do nothing? These people suck. We had Mara escape from the dumbest drunk I've ever, like, why? Why? It was just so bad. It was so bad. It was a waste of everybody's power, a waste of everybody's time. We presented Ian as a big bad for what? We brought Lark here for what? For nothing. For you to do what you didn't want to do 3 episodes ago and give him that dry damn forget-me-not tea. This sucked. It sucked. Ashley,
Tell us how you really feel, Tyra.
Right.
y'all, because y'all wasted. Who wastes this many character? And this is not even everybody. The blacks ain't even here. Y'all wasted everybody.
The blacks.
It's like they didn't even try. Like Esta said, I am cooking with hot grease over here, and I don't even have to try. The story sells itself. They can just show up. But no, it was disappointing. Y'all know I had high hopes for Moira, for Lark, and for Ian. I was like, oh, Ian's going to be a great villain. He sliced Alberic's throat like the first 2 seconds. Like, oh, we're cooking with Ian. He's going to be smart because he's raised his own family. He kind of raised himself because his father was absent. I just knew he was going to have some chutzpah and some wisdom. But no, no, he's just as dumb as a box of rocks. Moira, again, the family, that was so weird to me. And Moira, your accent sucked. Now that sucked really bad. And the fact that they were like, oh yeah, let's get drunk. Let's go shop for shop, pound for pound. Like, that's what we're doing. I don't know. Everybody was wasted to me. Every character that had the potential to be great. Yes, Nelson, what happened to Dolly Jean and them? Even her sister who could shapeshift. That was for crap.
For
Like,
sex, to all of that, to be Julian's concubines.
Listen, at the end of the day, they mailed it in. I think that she thinks that this was really great, that they were cooking, that this was say magnifique, and it was trash. Such a disappointment. I had such high hopes for Moira, for Lark, for all of them, and it fell flat. Not even a whimper, not a spark, just nothing at the end. Just a disappointment. This is a great disappointment.
Where did those portals go? Where did they come from? If they were that, why are we using planes, trains, and automobiles to get around? And everybody's delayed. I don't want to hear nothing about that damn portal. Useless.
Yeah, the one thing that really got me the most is, imagine being an American woman your whole life and then coming to Scotland, putting on a fake Scottish accent and fooling every Scottish person like that. If I was Scottish, I would be insulted. Like, because what are you trying to say about me? Like, we can't hear our own. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, Lark not really having a purpose sucks. And then he was tied to the family all of 2 seconds. It was like, what was the point of having that plot in here? If oh yeah, you can't hurt us because Lark is going to get hurt if you try to kill anybody. 2 seconds, guys. That was a plot point. We just got it last episode. It was done in this episode. And yeah, Myra, I was most disappointed in Myra because I thought she was coming with a purpose. I thought she was coming with a vengeance. She gave none of that. It was just a waste of a character. And I'm honestly disappointed to know that Lasher really had no real mystical pull with any of the witches. Is he was really getting the holes just off the strength of being smooth? Like, I doubt it. I thought it was some magical connection. But we see that Myra could, care less about Lasher when she sees him. So that's not that. That disappointed me as well.
Thank you so much, Lynn, for the super chat, who said, if the Immortal Universe budget needed more money to go to Rockstar Lestat concerts, I'm perfectly okay with the show being terrible. Y'all know how much concert tickets cost. Maybe that's, but I mean, the budget doesn't equate to the writing. The writing is still poor. They've had enough to make something work here to where it was substantial, whether the budget was budgeting or not. We had enough to make this wedding. We had enough to, take a trip to Ireland or wherever they went. Like, it was, there was some money spent here. The writing is just bad.
Quana? Yes, everyone is useless. None of it makes any sense. They undid everything that maybe had the potential to do something. For instance, with Lark, okay, is he a love interest? Well, we don't know because we never really got any chemistry between the two of them, so we don't even know why he was hired. But then on top of it, I could maybe go with her and think, okay, his access to money and the blood bank and everything like that. But did she really need to analyze his blood? Not really, because you had enough information to know that he was a mystical being. You knew he was connected with your family. And ultimately, the blood didn't really help that much anyway. Then, okay, if it was the money, okay, he helped y'all get there. Well, apparently with the portals, why did we need his money to get there when they got portals? And then even Julian is like, our family is exceptional. So if y'all family is exceptional, y'all got exceptional money. She didn't need Lark's money to help her get there. I'm so at this point now, Lark was completely pointless. Then Moira was the only one who had potential. And I'm still trying to figure out. I don't know if that's me. Y'all hear echoes?
Yeah, I did for a second, but not anymore.
I was trying to figure out. She listening to these people's thoughts, and she's hearing that they're about to have a feast. The way that she asked her, "Well, what are we eating?" Trick, you done had this power for how long in your life? You can't think of a better way to get information from somebody than just to come out and ask them the very thing that they were just thinking about and know that you're not about to tip them off. That was dumb. I was like, oh, girl, you really are stupid. Like, you're not smart. I really feel like they hired her because she looked like Elijah Dushku, who played Faith in Buffy. And Ian, he got what was coming to him, because how you gonna sit there and for 2 seconds act like you cared about the fact that your daddy was erasing your brother's memories just to be like, oh, I'm on daddy's side. He would never do that to me. Come on. Like, at this point now, like none of it makes any sense and nobody has any purpose. They're just all there.
Look at here, Chad. Bring up Sip's sister again. Y'all know they wrote that woman out. They had no, they said, look, we already, I gave up on the black characters when they let
all the black characters.
It's just too much. What are we gonna do with that, sister?
Nothing.
Who knows?
Y'all expected plots and stuff to be driven home by the end. We could barely write and get us this far. They did the witch talking about the family trying to go and dethrone Rowan earlier in the season as the where we ain't hear nothing about that. See, I'm gonna come to you. Which of the colors' death started the battle? Because I know you hate it, so I know you know.
Car sound for 1,000, please. Car sound for 1,000.
I was so happy. I remember when I first saw this, I was so happy. I was like, oh, girl. Oh, okay. So all stuff was about to go down. We've been waiting on this showdown. Like, let's go. Some casualties will be had, but we're gonna win the war. You know, like flip it and reverse it. This never happened. We were never here. I was like, way to cop out. Way to cop out and lose the pick that you had. But the battle is great nonetheless. I think it's fun. I go watch it sometimes. Not the movie, just the battle. Just the battle. Oh man. But bringing us, you know, to close it out here. We have him get the tea, and we have to make it to where Rowan is giving up on the greatest love that never was. And instead of going, you know, if your love was that deep, why would you volunteer to forget her? Forget everything that you've experienced here. I love that they had, I guess, him catching that body in the kitchen. I was like, yeah, I didn't did too much to go on. I've seen too much. I need to forget it. Like, and then he atones to it. Like, well, you know, if you just happen to see me as a passerby in New Orleans, you know, flirt with me, take advantage of me on a moonlit night in a hot hotel room. It's like, excuse me, what are we saying here? Like, this was nothing. And the way she stood there and waited for him to look dumbfounded, I was disgusted. I say, I hate every ounce of this, and I hate that she feels like she's like, I'm being the bigger person. You know what? I'm gonna. Like, how do we get to this conclusion? I wish we could have had a discussion or something from Lark. Like, this was your decision. Why? Because it just seems like, yeah, you're going to drink this tea. You'll forget I ever existed. Like, I won't even know you. Like, yeah, you're going to drink it because I said so. That's what it looked like. It looked like you didn't know nothing. And if we were going to do this so easily, what were all the gripes with it when it was mentioned by Dolly Jean and the rest of the family? You were standing on business talking about you wasn't going to do that and he was going to help and he was coming with you to Ireland. Ashley?
And the weird smirk on her face of it all. So here's speaking of Twilight, let's go there for a moment, right? Let's just go there, right? And talk about how you create a great love You know what I mean? Even if I'm gonna say Stephanie was over there cooking more than these people were in this show in terms of creating some steam heat and a dynamic. I never believed that Lark and Rowan had this great love that needed to be remembered or forgotten for that matter. The fact that he jilted you on your mama boat back in California all these years ago, and now we're supposed to believe that this was the love of your life. You was humping Blondie season one. You was humping Sip in the house. Like you've had how many lovers in between that? It never gave. This was a great love affair that he needs to forget about. And if you trusted him enough to be inside your world, take him to Scotland and do all that, why do you need to wipe out his memory? To me, it was futile, this entire exchange, because I didn't believe it. You don't believe Rowan loves him. You don't believe he really loves her. Like I know they tried to give, oh, maybe he's like infatuated. It never gave that. It never gave that to me. And this was just dumb. Like you said, her standing there like, go on and take it and let me, make sure he doesn't recognize me anymore. Girl, go to hell, Rowan. I never want to see you again.
I don't ever want to see you again. See, were you here for the moment in this tea? And why did he choose it? There was no fight. He just drunk it.
uh, like I said, ever since we left the battlefield, I was just like, I didn't know I felt like we were in fever dream, even more so than the whole of the series, because everything just happened all at once. I'm like, what? How do we even get here? How do we even get off the docks? How do we get to this cafe drinking tea? When did she have time to make the tea? Like, when did she even know how to do it? Because Dolly Jean made the first one. Now she's suddenly a master magician at potions and can do everything. I don't understand it. Um, yeah, I didn't like it. This ending was thrown together, and this pissed me off less than the next. I don't know if we're gonna show the next scene. I'll wait, but that pissed me off the absolute most. But this just didn't. I was just in shock at how fast it happened.
That's quick. It's like decisions to be made. He's like, drink the tea. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
this tea that I made from nowhere
She just had it on her.
in the public streets.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, did she have it this entire time? And you were saving it for this moment?
Who knows?
I don't know. Who knows? Quana?
I just had a random thought. I'm trying to help Esta out. Maybe there was a version of the show that she made and that the network edited so that it no longer looks like what she gave. Because for the life of me, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, from the moment that they brought Lark in and made him to be this great love interest, we ain't see them knocking the boots, not one nary good time, for real, to where we would understand that they have this great love. So why did we need this scene? There was no moment where they stopped and lingered in each other's eyes and said, it's gonna be okay. And he caressed her face and he, reassured her, between your power and my wits, we've got, like, there was just nothing. There was just nothing. So why did we need this moment? They're trying to Romeo and Juliet this, like they can't never be together, but like we don't care.
Oh.
Child, the way they brought Lark here to be sexually assaulted is despicable. Moving on. That's all he came here to do. This was crazy.
Because he need to get some. Because he was like, I need to get some way, somehow. So this is what I got to do to get it.
I'm leaving here with something. See, I'm going to come to you.
No.
Jacob imprinted. Was it wrong for him to imprint on Little Renesmee? Because people be acting like it's weird.
Don't come to me with this. I'm trying to forget it happened. I don't never want to remember this because Stephanie Myers was wrong for this. It made no sense. Everyone was disgusted. I had always been Team Jacob. Since I read the books, I was Team Jacob. And hearing and reading this, I was disgusted. It made me ashamed to be Team Jacob for many, many years. Because why would you even write this in and then try to justify it with, oh yeah, he's just going to turn into, her guardian and almost like a father figure, a big brother, and then her lover. Like, do you think that makes it okay? This is disgusting. So yes, it was wrong, and it's always been wrong, and it's always been disgusting.
That part.
Quana, Jacob imprinted. Was it wrong?
it was wrong for Stephanie to do this. Jacob didn't have any choice in it, which makes it sad. Poor Jacob. Because basically he had all his autonomy. He was like, it wasn't me, it was her inside of you. But like, I'm just really trying. Like, it takes a sperm and an egg. So, but I mean, is it just the part of her that is Bella? I was always so confused by it. Was it wrong? Stephanie is going to have to answer for many things, and this is one of
Yes.
Taking a page out of Esta's in this Mayfair universe, they said, "Hey,
Oh my
look
God.
here, Renesmee gonna go age like spoiled milk, just like old Lasher. She gonna age up real
my
quick.
God.
Or really ain't that bad." Ashley, was this wrong?
Yeah, that's what we call grooming. Okay, we're gonna look out. We're gonna set you up to be my wife, buddy, to be my lover. It was vile. It was disgusting. I'll never get over it. It was never okay. The reason I'm Team Edward to this day is because of this. Yes, it was wrong as hell, and it was weird. And I'm not for nothing. I don't know what they be doing over there in Utah. It's very different. But I didn't like it. I hated it. I hated that. I hated it.
Ciao.
Can we read just like Pretty Girl Danny's comments, because I think that would have solved a lot. Like if Jacob had been gone and then came back after she had grown up, that would have been wonderful. Why did he need to imprint on an infant? Why was that necessary?
Character assassination. She saw how many Team Jacobs there were. She was like, "Oh, I can't have
She's
it."
like, y'all liking this little. Look at he not even brown for real. Okay, can we? She was like, but she was mad. She was like, not y'all liking the brown boy.
Right. I can't have this.
Oh, please take that off the screen.
Finishing it up here before we say our little last of the last. I guess we don't need to see JoJo in them. I guess we don't need to go in the house. All this time waiting. Guess we don't need to go inside to see anything, and we're just gonna all have it happen from the outside, looking into them. You know what? Whoosh! Esta, you will pay for your crimes very soon, lady. Because I was like, why wouldn't we go inside the house? Well, did y'all run out of funds? Y'all spent all that money. They say, oh no, we paid bank to break down this home to make it look just rotten. Like, oh, if y'all didn't get here just in the nick of time, there was gonna be no house to come back to that y'all couldn't even let us go in to see JoJo and the little sister. I that was weird. But we have, we have Cortland, Julian seething and stalking from literally a hop and a skip away, and we zoom in on her baby blue eyes, because where else would we leave off? Because that's the most important thing here. See, how did you feel when we got here and Mar was like, what if it doesn't work? She's like, no, it's gonna work. This is gonna work because I'm Rowan and it is. And we go to the house, but we don't actually go in.
I was thinking, wasn't this the whole reason why we went to Scotland, to get the girls out of the thrall, and then we don't even get to see them? We get an off-screen, off-site, oh yeah, you're back, and a flash of light. Like, that was the cheapest, most disgusting way to end this show, and it stunk of reshoots. That's what it felt like. Like they ended it a different way, and somebody was like, "No, we can't do this. What even happened to JoJo?" Like they forgot, and then they're like, "Oh snap! What did happen to JoJo? Let's go back and shoot. Just have her do like a little voiceover, and that'll be answering that question." It was the stupidest, and the fact that we get more scenes of Cortland just looking ominous in the shadows. Well, we could have cut that out and could have saw the girls get out of the thrall. Like that could have been the payoff for that. I don't need to see Cortland in the corner and Rowan being none the wiser, even though he's literally just to her left. Like what? I hated this ending. This was the worst possible ending that I could imagine, and this is what they decided to do. It was the last 3 seconds.
It was weird. I just put the war begins, I guess, because why else would we have him looming in the bushes and her looking off into the distance with her baby blues, like, I know you're out there and I'm ready for you. Okay, who cares? Quana, we didn't need to go inside the house, because why would we want to see anything?
I mean, why were we even here for these last 16 episodes? What did any of this matter? We weren't going to find out and get to see the actual reunion with the people who she flew all the way to Ireland to save in the first place. That was the dumbest. We talk about lack of budget, so you couldn't afford to pay them for one day to be on set. I was completely just like done. Like we just walk in the house and then that's it. And only thing I can think is, thank God. I think maybe they were like, let's give some closure, even though we're not going to answer about 50 questions. Let's end this so that if we don't come back, we can't. They can't say it didn't end. Oh, she got them back, and all they're back in the Mayfair house. All is well with the world. But I was like, really? We're not even going to. We're not seeing anyone. That's just it. That's this. That was the most lackluster, and that was, I don't even know if I could say that was worse. That was worse than Game of Thrones ending.
Yeah, it was.
We would not have been happy about the way it ended. It gave climax. It gave excitement. This was just nothing. Nothing happened.
Ashley.
The one thing we probably needed to see, like, it's just like I echo C and Quanta's sentiments on this. It was whack as hell, but does it surprise me? No. Esta is a heretic. She has to be stopped. Like, I never want to see anything from her again. It's like, okay, you know what your budget is before you start all of this foolishness, before you're going to all of these foreign locations and Alexandra's taking day trips out to get tea and coffee, like they said in the after show. Spend this little coin and just bring JoJo out the thrall. Y'all done built the thrall before. Go back to one of them scenes and just have them pop out like
That's what I was going to say. Just reverse that scene where they disappear. Reverse it.
it was just, again, like someone said in the comments, anticlimactic to an anticlimactic season. I will never come back here. I am so glad that it's over. But of all the things to mail in, that's what you want to mail in. This is what you want to be the lasting impression on people's heads, on minds, before a potential season 3. It was dumb. It was just dumb.
It was awful. At least you still watching that little after show with her talking. I've been just, as soon as it goes off, I snatched this off so quick. I don't want to hear nothing. Last Twilight question. I'm gonna go first because I didn't answer about the imprinting. I ain't never gave a damn about that. What y'all not gonna do is play on Jacob Top, okay? First of all, I ain't had no control over that. Everybody act like as soon as he imprinted over Nesme, he was gonna be sexting her up in the bushes as a child. That was not what that was. That was not what that was. The moment that Jacob imprinted, he was strictly the protector for that moment. Was this going to potentially blossom into something else when she was of age? Sure. But for right now, this is what it is. And in the bigger, grander scheme of things, it protected her, okay? It protected her when the little world was popping off. Jacob imprinted. It's their unwritten law.
Still don't
No
like
serious
it,
one,
though,
okay?
'cause the first time we see it is Sam and his wife, and so you're looking at imprinting as this romantic thing. I think part of it was protecting, and I think that's what they slid it in to be. But something's wrong with Stephanie, because that never needed to be a thing.
If we could be over there with a 117-year-old, whatever Edward is, and how long have you been 17? A long ass time. That's an old ass man if you want to keep it all the way funky. Okay? That was already janky. We ain't gonna do that to Jacob. I love Jacob. If it was a choice, it was always gonna be Jacob. Edward was cold and he looked cold and he always looked like he needed to take a shit. I was never a fan of Edward. I was never a fan. It was always Jacob, and I feel like Belle, girl, you could have had something, girl. You could have been warm on these lonely nights and been human. Whatever. Bye, heifer. Quana, Jacob or Edward?
I can't. I never really got into any of this because I never understood why either one of these individuals would want Bella in the first place. It never made any sense. But if I have to make a choice, I'm gonna go with Jacob, because I didn't like how Edward was treating Jacob. Like, he act like Jacob didn't have a real reason. Like, y'all got centuries old beef between y'all's families where y'all just been sitting here killing people and whatnot. So I didn't understand why Edward was treating Jacob like he was anyway. I didn't like how he was talking down to Jacob, but then in the clips he want to say, "I need you to help me keep her warm." Like, I ain't like all that.
No, not even that. But he never held Bella accountable for nothing. Like, she wouldn't give Jacob a reason to be hanging on by a string. Harlot, if I ever seen one, a pasty harlot at that. C, Jacob or Edward?
Here's where things get a little interesting, right? Because all my life, pretty much, I was Team Jacob, man. I was Team Jacob. But recently, as I became as I'm a grown woman, as I am, I could see the appeal of an Edward, a wealthy man, a little bit of an age gap romance. And the fact that Jacob was just 16, yeah, he loved Bella, but that was a 16-year-old love, right? Edward has a grown man love that he's going to take care of you regardless. And I'm like, I could see the appeal there. It's more security with Edward. And that's what I'm looking for as a grown woman. I'm not looking for 16-year-old puppy love anymore. I'm looking for
It's
security with my
also
man.
more life threatening. You also have to leave everybody. You can't talk to your mama no more. You got to ignore Charlie like you've been doing. You
She
got
would have had to keep secrets for Jacob too, so
That's a different secret. We just busting up out of our shorts every once in a while when the moon comes out.
I don't know. I'm saying as a grown woman, I'm picking Edward. Period.
Fine. I already see where Ashley stands. Ashley, Jacob, or Edward.
Girl, because let's talk about it. And Quana, I love you down real bad, but what we're never gonna do is pretend like the bros on the res wasn't talking about them vamps bad. We're not gonna pretend.
But not to their faces like that. Like he was in his face playing him.
That's why we stand on big business with Edward, because you know what? As dingy and accident prone as Bella was, Edward was gonna stand on business every time. When them boys was trying to SA her in that alley, the way he appeared out of nowhere. Like, I ain't gotta like you, Bella. I'm gonna talk crazy to you because I'm trying to protect you. Y'all gotta see the vision. Edward was a provider, a protector, honey, a lover. Listen, he was going to get you done and get you done right, even if he had to sacrifice his own good. You know what, Bella? These people after me, I don't want to have you in it, so I'm gonna go, because that's what real love does. True love waits.
Man, please.
I'm going over there with Edward every single time. Hear me. Hear me.
This
Yes.
is
And you be deer for the rest of your life. You and not even deer, not even the deer meat. You're just drinking the blood. Like you can't even have a steak no more. You can't have, creme brulee no more.
But Edward going to stay with her though. Edward is going to take care of her for the rest of her existence. Jacob was about to knock her up and leave her for the next chick on the res by the time he turned 21, baby. So let
How
us
did you do Jacob like that?
make these false narratives up.
get with the grown man, Edward.
You think I don't know about these accusations, Betty? Don't bring this up in here. Don't bring this up in here.
I love Jacob. I love Jacob.
Don't make me Malcolm X. You think I'm unaware of these accusations, Betty? I know what they print in these papers. The lies. Yo, I'm not taking none of this off of people who just made Charlie a drunk and a wife beater overnight. We're not doing this. We're moving on. We're closing we are closing this out in last remarks, and I got good riddance. I don't have nothing good to say about this show and us closing it out. Good riddance. I tried. I never want to try again.
Never.
It had the potential to be something, and we failed miserably. If you gave this show 16 episodes, I don't think you need to give it anymore. Like, if we couldn't prove ourselves to be worth watching or worth a good storyline in any kind of way in 2 seasons, I'm not giving you a third as a member or audience or watcher. And I don't know if you guys are going to get a third as if AMC even wants to give you that. I don't know, but I won't be sticking around to see it because this was terrible. Ashley, any last words?
I want to package this up, seal it, and ship it underground. I'm so glad that it's over. I'm so grateful. AMC can't in good conscience move forward with this without scrapping the whole thing and starting over. I honestly feel, and I haven't said this before with any property, and we've seen some properties, especially in fantasy, be ripped to shreds, and I feel like there's still hope. I don't feel like there's any redeeming this at this point. It would have to be a start over from the bottom, whole new showrunner, all of that to do. And I literally have no desire, but I am grateful that it's over. This was torture. This was torturous. This was a terrible, terrible 8 hours of TV. And I hope to never see anything this bad ever again.
C, any last words for the show or Esta or anybody?
This show is cheapening the AMC brand. They need to cut all ties immediately. I don't think they should give it a season 3. They need to sweep it under the rug as if it never happened. It's immediately starting tonight, right? And it's sad because even though season 1 was also bad, for me, season one was bad in an entertaining way. It was like so bad it was entertaining. This season wasn't even that. It was just bad. So if the trajectory remains the same, season three would just be unspeakable, right? So I just cut it here. Good riddance, like you said. Thanks for showing up and coming, but no, thank you. You're not invited back.
Awful. Quana, say something nice.
Mm.
Or don't.
You know, there was an ending and we saw it, and I'm glad it's over. I can't. I was trying to find something else to say that was positive, but it was just so bad. The writing was so bad. They don't ever need to come back to this again. I think AMC needs to pump the brakes and stop trying to make everything into a Walking Dead universe and try to have universes for everything. You knocked it out of the park. You hit gold with Interview with the Vampire. Put your stock into that. Mm-hmm. Stop trying to make these things that are not working work. And I'm like, Ashley, the only way I can see this working is if they get a whole new team involved with this and they start over from scratch. At this point, I don't even know if I want to watch the Talamasca series. I would need to, you know what I almost would need for that series to work, since it's supposed to be kind of like a Secret Service-y type of thing. I need them to get some writers from off of Paradise and bring them over to help develop that, so that they can get like the action and the tone right or something like that, because this just wasn't hitting on any cylinder at all. Sorry, Alexandra, you can't act, baby.
She can't.
You
can't at all. Like I have no interest in, because if this is our introduction to the Talamasca, why would anybody ever want to watch the show?
I don't know.
No. But y'all, there are some things that you do want to watch if you're a member. Our Saturday night members only watch along this week. It is Ashley's turn, and this is the film that she picked. If you want to become a member and watch this with us and get in the Discord, please do so you can have a good time, because we always do.
Oh, how can I answer that? The topic is Haiti, and she's talking about some little party. Hello, it was his 50th birthday. You ain't never seen a dream. There's heaven, I just feel it. Don't you let me slip, just say oh, taste Mr. Hall, how can I answer that? The topic is Haiti, and she's talking about some little party. Hello, it was his 50th birthday.
All right, as you guys can see, Ashley picked Clueless. If you want to watch that with us in the Discord this Saturday, members only, become a member of either my channel or Ashley's to join us. Ashley, I'm coming to you first. Anything that you want to promote to the folks?
Yes, tomorrow, you guys, I will be dropping my, well, maybe tonight if I get it edited in time, I will be dropping my Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Frankie documentary review. That'll be up tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the Married at First Sight watch along, as well as Lovecraft Country after that. And then on Wednesday, we will have a live discussion talking about the docuseries. So you guys actually have time to watch that. Stay tuned. We have Raising Kanan this week. We have Tyra, what else do we have, child? I don't forget.
Beauty and Black.
Beauty and Black Part 2. Come through, y'all. It's going to be a fun week. A lot of new stuff coming down the turnpike. Oh, and I'll be uploading my Daredevil review on Wednesday, too. So, yeah, be there. Come through. Show love. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Y'all heard the woman. Quana, what about you?
I will be dropping my reaction / recap of the Paradise season finale, probably a review for Daredevil, which I'm really excited about. And Wednesday and Thursday, I have a watch along in honor of Michelle Trachtenberg. We're watching Harriet the Spy on Thursday and Flight 7500 for Wicked Wednesday on Wednesday at 8.
Oh, child, not Harry. Because Harry was standing on business. R.I.P. to her. And Harry was
Tomato sandwich.
one of them girls. And See the Superior, what do you have coming up?
I too will be watching Daredevil with my friends. I can't wait for it to come out. Does it come out tonight at 9 or tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night at 9.
Okay, tomorrow night at 9. I'll be rushing to watch it. So we're going to be talking about that live after the show. Also, we're talking about Invincible still. That's going to be Thursdays. We're talking about that around 7:30 p.m. EST. With my book club girlies, we are reading The Silent Patient. It's a little thriller. We were going to read a smut one, but it just got a little too weird, guys. It was given too much incest and everything like that. We said no to that, so we switched it up. So that's what's going on my channel. See the Superior on my platforms.
Thank you, C. And Ashley stated we have a full week this week. Do know, get it ahead of time. Be sure to catch up on things like Raising Kanan before we get into the new season, or the second part of Beauty in Black. Also, this Thursday, we will be having a Dead Presidents watch along in the same vein that we had Tales from the Hood, earlier in the week. So be sure to show up for that, because that's gonna be a good time and a first time watch for Ashley. I can't wait for her to see it and her thoughts on it. But yeah, y'all show up and support us. We will be here every single week. And shout out to the 70 people who are still here. We appreciate you guys for being here, and be sure to support every single lady here. We go through hell. we showed up, okay? We showed up, and I would love for you guys to show up for them and go subscribe and support their channels and everything that everybody here is trying to do. And we will not see you guys next Monday, because this is the last of Mayfair. Everybody have a good night.